Hello and welcome back, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time. So if you're an American, this video is only going to tell you things you already know about, so even if you're about to bail, please subscribe anyway, even if it's just to help a fellow American out. So on a previous video I talked about the reasons to reconsider a visit or a move to the United States, and this time I'm going to tell you why it's the good things about America, the things that you should think about when you're considering a trip here. So the United States is the third most populous country in the world, with a population of about 347 million people. Also the third largest, essentially tied with China. And of course we're one of the most visited. Again, third.
We're number three. We're number three.
But with the current policies, we're possibly going to slide down that list. So number one on the list is money. There's a lot of it here. There's a lot of opportunities for you and your family to make tons of it, but it doesn't grow on trees. It doesn't come without hard work, or in some people's cases, a lot of seed capital from their parents or grandparents or both. But no matter, in a recent survey or a recent report, it found that 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So keep in mind that if you hope to attend a university here, you'll also have to silence your liberties a bit, at least nowadays, in case somebody doesn't like your views. It's sad, but it's the way things are right now. Other things about money, well, if you start your own church, which is really easy here, you can live or you can work tax-free, but a little bit more about that later. Entertainment. Wow, concerts, lots and lots of concerts. Well, if you can afford to go to them. There's things like the Super Bowl, which everybody knows about, Broadway, TV and movies, Hollywood in general, Disney and other theme parks, stand-up comedy, which is really an American original, and basically anything that'll distract the population from the important things. And in the words of Kurt Cobain, here we are now. Entertain us. I was going to insert a section on religion here, but I went ahead and got the B-roll ready, the script ready and everything, but to be honest, the more I thought about it, more I was just venting on my views on religion, and it's really not a good thing about America or something that people come here to visit for. We don't have the kind of temples that Asia has or the structures that Europe has for religion. So yeah, it's really not worth putting in the a section for it. So that'll save a little time. So American culture. We have lots of museums. I think there's over, I want to say 3,000 or even 30,000 museums in the United States. But big ones like the Smithsonian, the American History Museum, the Natural History Museum, the Space Museum in Huntsville, Alabama, if you can believe it, Museum of Fine Arts in multiple cities. There's just lots of museums and lots of things to see and learn about in American museums. There's monuments, loads of monuments. Monuments from national parks to statues of American heroes, even statues of traitors. We have them all. Not only that, but we have huge highways to help you get to those monuments. And that's really kind of our culture too, is cars. We drive faster than most people, but we don't have the Autobahn. But the reason we have the highways is because General or President Eisenhower back in the 50s, after seeing the Autobahn in Germany during World War II, and before I think World War II, he may have seen it as well, he realized the need for moving huge armies across the United States, which is a huge country. And so he came up with the idea of the national highway system, and even though speeds are regulated, like I said, not like the Autobahn, it's still an engineering marvel. Something else I should put in culture, I guess, is we love our AC. We kind of need our AC considering how hot it gets in a lot of the United States. So pretty much everything in the lower half to lower 2/3 of the United States, all houses are going to have AC, most of them central AC. So you may think it's a sign of weakness or a welcome perk. So what about beauty? Many people like Americans because they assume we're all beautiful like in our movies. Look at me, that's obviously not true. While there are some exceptional beauties in this country, in abundance, but the reality is there is a far larger segment of America that's somewhere between overweight and sickeningly fat. I was working in Ohio on a project several years ago, and I met this group of Russian women who were working there. I can't prove they were being manipulated or slave labor, but that's a story for a different time. But they were terrified of eating American food. They wouldn't go to fast food restaurants unless they just got a salad. And in fact, I think that's all they ate on the 2-week tour they were here was salads. Even with that in mind, America still now sets the beauty standards pretty much for the world the way France used to. So nature, the entire planet is filled with natural beauty and abundance. And in fact, I expect that the views and the nature that I see when I do move to Asia is not going to be really unusual, especially after living in a country like this. Like I said, it's a very large country, and we have many waterfalls, caves, forests, and places to camp among the wilderness. And, you know, really the size of it all is probably more impressive than the diversity of it. But this is one topic I can't really temper with a warning, other than to say that hopefully you as a visitor will treat it better than some of our people have. As I said in my previous video, we definitely are friendly on the surface. The chance that you're going to interact with a far-right, hateful person is quite slim, actually, because even they try to be nice. Just don't mention politics. Don't mention diversity or equality or individual rights. Just choose to discuss the local football team or sports team of any sort, or food, and you'll be fine. Shopping in America, well, you can buy anything in the US, pretty much anything really. Shopping malls, they're not as popular as they were here in the 80s or in Asia, where I think a lot of people go to socialize and just get out of the heat in Asia, but not so much because we have lost our insatiable desire to order shit we don't need, but mostly because we can get all that stuff delivered to our door, and all we have to do is succumb to a billionaire like Jeff Bezos. So with the current tariff situation and the uncertainty it's carrying with it, the prices are actually quite high on imported goods and getting higher. And food is more expensive than we're used to. But in truth, I watched a video maybe last week of a Northern Ireland influencer or reactor that I happen to like to watch, and he was in the United States recently and was saying that European food prices were higher than the US. I can't confirm that, but it's still, the United States is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. Music, well, the United States used to be the epicenter of rock and roll and popular music in general, from jazz to rap and everything else that's been popular music for the last 50 years has mostly started in the United States, other than the British invasion. But nowadays, at least in my opinion, it's more of a performance than playing music. You just don't see enough people playing music anymore. But that doesn't mean it's not available. People in this country have been getting better and better at musical instruments, playing since the 60s. And so there are a lot of places to watch homegrown music, whether it's rock and roll or jazz or blues or any other style of music. Just go to the local bars. There's lots of them in every city. And it's that old time rock and roll is just a little dusty, but it's still around. Okay, what about guns? That's a good thing? Is that why you come to America? Well, it's not considered a good thing in a lot of dialogues, but the feeling of firing a weapon is exciting. I can't deny that. The knowledge of having the power of causing instant death at your own hands in the instant of a second is both awesome and sobering. So if you ever wanted to fire military-grade weapons, all you need to go do here is go to a shooting range, pay a little money, and they'll let you fire pretty much any kind of weapon that you can imagine. In fact, there's a place in Alabama and probably other places where you could drive a freaking tank for about $100. So when thinking about food in the United States, you may imagine of fields of grain and bountiful harvests and that kind of thing, but possibly the best definition for the food culture in America is Thanksgiving. We just stuff our already fat faces with more food than many people in this world eat in a week. But it's good, and we do like our food, and it is creative at times and a blend of so many different cultures that food in America, I mean, it's probably my favorite thing, and I have to regulate myself so I'm not 300 pounds. We have things like barbecue, a mostly Caribbean tradition, but it was a way to prepare the less tender meat, cuts of meat that were thrown to the enslaved peoples in the past, and over time, through their expertise and regional differences, barbecue to me is one of the most American foods nowadays. There's many different forms. My favorite's North Carolina style, from St. Louis style, Memphis style, Texas style, and more. Chicken waffles, ever heard of it? Well, it's delicious, especially here in Atlanta. It's something, if you're here in the South, you do have to try that. It's probably on your list already, but fast food, this is the epicenter. Again, I hate to keep using big words like that, but it is the epicenter for fast food in the world, and our bellies show it, like I said already. Tex-Mex, we have Cajun and Creole in Louisiana, which is just wonderful, and the weirdly culturally American specific dish like peanut butter and jelly. Love peanut butter and jelly. In fact, peanut butter anything.
It's good.
Tastes good too.
Also prepare yourself for the ubiquitous pumpkin spice that seems to be everywhere from October to April. Although not something most people travel to the United States for unless they're watching a team or participating, sports is very big in the United States. Everything from snow sports to water skiing to football, both types, baseball, basketball. We've been the host of 4 summer and 4 winter Olympics. We're starting to love soccer. Yeah, I know. Football, soccer. I actually started an uncomfortable situation in a bar when I mocked American football one time. Kind of got out of a fight by the skin of my teeth that way. So another thing not to talk about in a non-American way. Also golf, many others. Again, if we can compete with somebody else, we're happy. One of the best things about America, and I wish it wasn't under attack, is diversity. We're more diverse than any other country in the world, possibly the most diverse country in history. Basically, you're going to find enclaves of pretty much every racial group, every religious group, every ethnic group on the planet represented here. Yes, even in a southern state like Georgia, but keep in mind that even the word diversity is being considered racist, if you can believe that. Like I said, politics is ingrained in everything now. So don't let one of my previous videos turn you off from visiting, but do let it and this serve as a warning that although we still believe, or at least tell ourselves, that we're the greatest nation on earth, there are changes afoot that very well might change that. So on that note, please remember to subscribe. I know you forgot. So just do it now. And watch for or turn on notifications to remind you to watch my next episode. And please, please make a great day.